What is up, Smack Empire? SmackNPie here, back again with another Dark Deception video. Now I know this was supposed to be that facecam S-rank video, but before we get to that video, ladies and gentlemen, we have some unfinished business to attend to, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. So welcome to part 1 out of 2, where we're going to dive deep into details regarding chapter 3 secrets, most specifically secret notes, so make sure to stay tuned. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. Let's start with the content of the note itself. What exactly these notes say about our character's backstory. That is, if there is even one to begin with. In the sewers, there are plenty of secrets. Most notably, the 2 notes that can be found by going into the secret room, where you can see 2 notes with a cute ducky alongside them. And on top, you can see infamous title, "Remember Your Ugly Duckling." Let's see what these notes have to say, shall we? Quote, "I can't take these psychiatry visits anymore. The pills aren't helping her at all. I never know when she's going to freak out and have another episode. Everything triggers her. She's so needy all the time too. It's a never-ending nightmare. She'll never be normal. She's just going to be a bipolar mess like her mother, probably even crazier. I tried my best, but they've both become insufferable. I never planned for any of this misery. I am no family man. I really don't care what people think of me. Those 2 don't know how to be happy, and they're sucking the joy out of my life. I need to cut them off while I still can. I've got plenty of money and a high-profile career. I'm still young and attractive. I can start over. Hook up with a younger girl that's not mentally damaged. Do it right this time. I still need to do something about them though. No way I'm letting her take me for half. She'll use that detective kid to bleed money out of me forever. I want to be free of them. I want to forget they exist as soon as possible. Thankfully, she's not very bright. There might be a way." Now, there's a lot to unpack here, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like our character is fed up with someone. He's done with taking care of them. He believes that whoever he's fed up with, his life has become miserable because of them in the first place, and that he wants to start over. Now, who are we talking about here? Well, surprisingly yet unsurprisingly and unfortunately, we're talking about our character's family, most specifically, the daughter of the family. We can learn through the notes that he's done with his family. He's done taking care of his daughter, who's going through something, mental-related issues to be exact. Now, through the note, we can also learn a bit about the mother as well. Let's break this into a couple of points so we can all understand this easily. Number 1, he stated that his daughter is so needy all the time, emphasizing on the fact that maybe, just maybe, he left or abandoned his wife first because of the reasons we're coming to in just a bit, which made his daughter have all those episodes. Number 2, he stated that she's going to be a bipolar mess just like her mother. That is a big statement, and probably why I'm in love with this game. Developers have put so much thought into this one specifically. I was curious. Most specifically, I was worried about how they're going to execute the family story, and they did not disappoint one bit. What we're learning here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the father realized that his wife was going through some mental problems, and he wanted to distance himself from her, mainly because of the troubles she would cause to their child and to the father as well. The bills, the crazy episodes, up until now, it seems like the father was doing things and taking decisions purely out of emotions and emotional fight or flight response kind of scenario. And honestly, you can't blame him for that. Not until what he does next. There's another thing here. He stated that he wants to get rid of them, both of them. And we also learn about his ego. Wow, what a surprise. As he talks about how rich and high-profile career that he's got. And number 4, and finally, he mentions that his wife is not very bright and that there is another way. Now, of course, after learning all this, there's a lot to talk about here, mainly that our character has had issues with his family. He wasn't the nicest person either. Look at his wording, the way he talks about his own daughter. And not to mention how he puts all the blame on the mother as well. But then, like I said earlier, it was emotional response from him. Definitely not the best, but at the same time, there's no excuse to think like that or even justify it. But then again, his behavior had some explanation to it, unfortunately. This underlines with the theory that we had where we talked about how he's done horrifying things in his life, and now he's going through those phases of his past life that now haunts him in form of horrific, terrifying, nightmarish worlds, and he's got no one else to blame except himself for all the punishment and pain he's going through. This also confirms another thing regarding this subject. Back in chapter 2, specifically in Agatha's elementary evil level, we found out that there's this little girl who died alongside her mother in a car accident, and how she believed that her dad is to be blamed as he stares almost emotionless in that drawing while his family died in pain and agony. And now he's reliving all those nightmares, those memories that now haunts him, the sins that he'd done in his life. It does not confirm that he was the one behind the accident, but it certainly almost definitely puts the blame towards the protagonist, who's really the antagonist here, ladies and gentlemen. But before I explain this part in detail, let's take a look at the second note. See what exactly is the story behind this family. Why is he going all crazy? Was the mother really that crazy to be abandoned? Same goes for the daughter. Well, let's find out. In the second note, which is right beside the first one, we learn a lot of things, this time from a different perspective. Quote, the patient Kristen Drazy is a 12-year-old Caucasian female living with parents with a mental health history that dates back to 2014. Patient was admitted by her father. The father says the daughter is prone to random severe mood swings and panic attacks. He also states that she acts impulsively, exhibiting risky and dangerous behavior in order to gain his attention. He fears that she will continue to harm herself or eventually others. There is a history of mental illness on the mother's side as well. During the assessment, patient described her mood as fine and insisted that it has gotten better over the past few years. Despite her words, patient's self-esteem appears low. Anhedonia, sleep disturbance, does not appear to be eating well. Loss in body weight, does not report change in energy, no report changes in concentration or memory. Patient does exhibit extreme agitation when asked about her father. She is convinced that he is ignoring her and does not love her. She believes that he wishes that she didn't exist. Patient does exhibit signs of past self-harm, with scars on both arms, sending recommendations that she is potentially suffering from early bipolar disorder, advising further tests and observation. Medication will be prescribed for depression and anxiety. I'll start with I did not read that. I tried, I failed, so I thought, I just don't read those two words. But if you can, let me know in the comments. Dr. Angela Simons. And finally, this is the important bit. Listen to this closely. Christine, I wish I would listen to you more, but you were nothing to me. I only saw your flaws. If you can hear me, believe in me this one time. I will change your fate. From the above, the first thing is that the daughter name is Christine Drazy. Finally, a family member's name. Secondly, it's quite clear that this is not the first time where we're learning about the situation of Christine Drazy. This report is quite alarming from both perspectives, not only for Christine but also from the father's perspective. This aligns with the previous note where the whole point was father being fed up with taking care of the daughter and all these psychiatric visits. These reports regarding the mental status of Christine, it was too much for the father to even consider them a family at this point, let alone taking care of them. From the above report, we can learn that Dr. Angela Simons is the one who was looking after the mental status of Christine after her father admitted for the cure. Unfortunately, things didn't ease up at all. Matter of fact, it got worse, and it seems like it got to the end point after this report. Just like the last note, there are a couple of things that stands out and need to keep in mind moving forward. Number one, in the first point, the report states that Christine was living with her parents. This is not explained properly, as the word parents could be taken as father or mother, because right after this, the report mentions that she was admitted by her father, which means that this either happened after father abandoned the mother or the mother was with them before father realized that this is too much. I am done. Number two, in the report we can learn that the main reason Christine was suffering from all this, apart from getting bipolar disorder from her mother, was her father's attention. And being a 12 years old, this is nothing new. It seems that Christine had two things in her mind. A, she wanted her father's attention after he left her wife, and now she wasn't getting the love and attention that a child needs, mainly because the father considered the mother dangerous for the child as well, which turns out he regrets later anyway. And B, not only she saw the abusive behavior of her father, but also experienced it firsthand. As learned from the report, patient does exhibit signs of past self-harm with scars on both arms. Those scars are not from Christine's obsessive behavior or her father's attention, rather by her father or this obsessive behavior, which also cements the point of our character's bad sins deeds from his past life. And number 3, and finally, really the pinnacle of the story and why this whole narrative is full of mysteries and obscurities. It seems like the father has realized that regardless of what his daughter and wife was going through, they were his family after all. Christine was his daughter after all, a child who didn't choose to be like that, who didn't choose to have bipolar mess in her head when she grew up. She didn't choose to have an abusive father who only saw flaws in her innocence. She didn't choose to have a father abandon his own wife, her mother. She didn't choose to live through all this, but her father did. And now that it's too late, the father wants to change everything. He wants to right the biggest wrong of his life, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the actual game and the actual story of Dark Deception comes in. After reading these 2 notes, it's fair and square to say that this story is revolving around this broken family. The father, who's been abusive to his wife and daughter, and then later abandoned them to start a new life, which went horribly wrong as he came to realize the hard way that the love, joy, and peace that he's been looking for the entire time was not in someone else but his own family, the one he spent years with. Unfortunately, it was too late before he could comprehend the circumstances of the situation, and now he's trying to fix this, as learned from the last statement from the father himself. I will change your fate, something we hear Beers reminding us all the time. I told you all. This is the story of redemption, kinda. Or let's say nightmare redemption. Cultish theme never made more sense until now. These notes were game changer and still are. And guess what? These aren't even complete notes from chapter 3. There are still 2 more left in Crazy Carnival, and I'm more than sure that I'm ready to solve Dark Deception's mystery once and for all. I'm not going to pull game theory on Dark Deception, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I might. I'm not saying I will, but I'm not saying I won't. We'll have to wait and see. Before we end this video, I want to give shout out to a couple of you guys for some clever comments. This is a segment I want to add in every video, where I highlight and give shout out to the people who comments on these videos, and they are the ones who make my day without realizing by saying something that either makes me laugh or smile. Like Marion HD said, quote, "But we all know it's not gonna happen, but I'm not saying it won't," said by Smack 2019. No hate, you're the best. This, of course, came after my statement, which was not understandable, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying it was not. Or as Place Pissiki would say, hashtag true story. This, of course, came after me sharing my true story with the whole world of how I turned from the best Dark Deception player of all time, I got the best players award of all time as well, I'm not joking, yes I am, to being the noob-est player in history. True story. Or as Blagoj Rujanowski would say, I hope I pronounced that right, yes please, you are the game theory, but on Dark Deception. And 12 of you guys agree with them. Dang! Here's another one. Rapidogo95 said, quote, hashtag SmackNPie, hashtag SmackNPie, hashtag Dark Deception. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, Rapidogo, they know what's up. They know that they're part of SmackNPie, and you could become one too. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers soon. And yes, S-Rank Let's Play with Facecam coming soon. Just don't bully me, please, man. I'm just a kid. But that would do it for this video. Remember to give it a like if you enjoyed. Also, smash subscribe if you're new here to become an official member of SmackNPie. We're above 16,000 and we could be at 20,000 very soon. So ladies and gentlemen, don't hesitate and watch these videos right now on your screen. You don't want to miss this. Trust me on this one. And I'm Smack. Until next time, stay dark deceptive and safe and peace.